What's good, people? Welcome back to another episode of LdnBoyPodcast. It's your host, Vinny, and I'm back with another episode. And today, I'm in the beautiful Swindon with my co-host, David. David, how are you, my bro?
I'm good. So we've literally just been chilling, relaxing, going around the southwest of the UK, seeing what's up, partying, meeting people, doing all types of things.
This is basically our summer break.
Yeah, summer break. So in terms of the podcast, we've been haven't been sort of uploading and releasing that much, but we've just been on our grind,
Just on our grind. And today I want to introduce a new sub-series called Human Nature. And in Human Nature, we're going to be talking about, all different issues you face as a human going from day-to-day life, whether it be relationships, work, social circle. We're going to be covering various issues, which is always good. I'm sure it will help other people and it will help ourselves as well listening back to it. So anyway, the topic for today is going to be the first episode. First episode of Human Nature is going to be mental toughness. So mental toughness, I want to break it down into 3 different sections. And those sections cover facing adversity, emotional intelligence, and rejection. So David, when somebody tells you the word or the phrase mental toughness, like what comes to your mind? What do you interpret it as?
I think the first thing I come up with is adversity. So when people are able to deal with a challenge that's in front of them in sort of a correct manner.
So facing challenges,
basically just facing your challenges. For me, I've had quite a few challenges in terms of like work, life, relationships, etc., etc. And obviously Vinny has as well, and maybe you guys listening will probably have too. We've gone through a little bit ourselves. We're still kind of young men at the end of the day, but we just want to give some of our sort of tips and advice
based on our experience.
Yeah, based on our experiences. And see what you guys think and if it can help you.
Yeah. So regarding adversity, what different types of adversity can you go through? You already mentioned work, so give me an example.
So, for example, like rejections when it comes to interviews,
I mean, in terms of adversity.
Oh, in terms of adversity. So when people sort of basically arseholes at work, like you have to deal with so many annoying issues.
So many difficult people and, issues that I've noticed, especially in the workplace, a lot of issues get blown out of proportion.
Small things.
Small things get blown out of proportion, and it just gets in your face. And that's the thing, because you're paid to be there, you have to deal with it head on. So have you got an example of that, an experience like that?
So for example, I've been in jobs where I've literally just been like I like to call it like the ashtray, so like the bottom of the pile, right? And with my I didn't have that much experience, but the thing is, right, I wanted a little bit of respect, right? Just some decent human respect for your employees. And I remember working in one place. It was like I was doing like making the frames for buildings, like the metal frames for buildings.
So like sort of like architecture.
Yeah, basically I was sort of like an architect, but not really. And the people at that job, honestly, there was, how can I describe it? Sort of like they took everything to the heart.
Yeah.
And then they just got frustrated by the tiniest little things as well. Like I never did architecture as sort of like a uni course. I was fresh to the job. I didn't really know that much. I had no idea about construction, to be honest. But they just said, okay, you do this, boom, boom, boom. And I tried my best, but sometimes I just wouldn't be able to do some of the stuff, I wouldn't be able to sort of get to their level, what they wanted me to be.
Yeah.
And I still had to deal with stuff like them being sort of like stereotypically sort of like just little racist remarks,
Yeah, I remember you
etc.
mentioned that to me
Yeah,
before.
yeah. Just stuff like that where it shouldn't really be in the workplace, you know.
Mm.
But it is adversity. I sort of got over it. I was just like, I'm not going to take it to heart.
So I'm guessing the biggest adversity at work is probably dealing with difficult people.
Yeah,
You know.
just dealing with assholes, you know.
Yeah.
Like I know you can't really swear that much on us and YouTube, but and people are just dickheads, you know.
Yeah.
Some people
People
are
can
just
be horrible.
some people can be horrible. So the best way to deal with it, honestly, is just for me, I never really tried to take it to like heart because there was some nice people that I worked with there, right? And I always try to focus on the nice people
Yeah.
and all the negative energy. I just sort of wouldn't try to remember it.
Yeah.
That's the best way. Is try not to remember it because if you remember something negative, it's going to bring you down.
Of course. Of course.
So
So tell me, how did you overcome that adversity at work, in the workplace?
with that, to be honest, yeah, again, like what I was just saying, like I try to sort of focus on the good things about the job. Um,
So just tunnel vision, like
tunnel
you didn't
vision.
lose aim of why you was there, you know.
No. And also at the same time, I was also looking for other jobs as well, just in this as an
So
escape
you was
route.
trying to get out of the
Yeah,
scenario. It's like you're in a toxic relationship. You know, the best thing to do is to evacuate the scenario. But the
yeah,
thing about careers and jobs is different because like we need sort of money to
pay off
live,
stuff,
to
innit?
pay bills and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that was quite an interesting scenario. But what about yourself, Vinny?
So yeah, that what you mentioned about the work scenario, I just learned myself. So in terms of adversity at work, you don't go to work to make friends, and I learned that the hard way. Was one of my first few jobs was in like a shipping company, so it
Mhm.
was like a warehouse environment, right? And I was just going there grinding, doing my thing, and you know when you get a lot of friendly people, but it's sort of like a front.
Mm.
It's like fake friendliness,
Yeah.
and they sort of want you to tell them more about yourself so that they can use it as ammunition later on.
Mm.
So let's say you say stuff to them like you're from a certain country, and then they keep bringing it up, saying just silly stuff. But I didn't care about all that. But what the adversity that I faced was the segregation in terms of like like tribalism
Yeah.
when there was predominant people from a certain country,
Mhm.
and because they're from that certain country, they stick together and they treat each other preferably compared to yourself.
Mm.
So with them, they'll be in their own group, just doing the easier work, and they'll send you to do like the hard labor, or like you mentioned before, the bottom of the ashtray.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, I felt sort of like it was me against everyone in sort of way. And how I dealt with that adversity is like, yeah, like you build thicker skin,
Mm.
and it taught me like you don't come to work to make friends. But for me, it got to a certain point where I addressed the disrespect. To like I sort of put my foot down and said to them, I was like, listen, this isn't gonna fly with me.
Mm.
So in terms of adversity, when you face a difficult situation at work, it's good to address it, but don't be overly aggressive about it. But the reason why I say it's good to address it is because you're going to work and seeing these people every day. So like you've got a choice whether to ignore it and it carries on, you feel miserable, but when they cross the line, sort of put your foot down,
Yeah.
and tell them this behaviour ain't gonna fly with me, and that's what I did, and even got to the point where I said to one of the managers, like, listen, mate, if this carries on, I'm going to end up having a fight with your staff.
Mm.
And they sort of took a step back, reevaluated everything, and yeah, it was fine, but I knew sort of I wasn't wanted in that environment. So yeah, that's adversity at work.
Mm. I guess it's the same for me as well.
Yeah.
With my job, I knew I wasn't really wanted,
Yeah.
so I literally just tried to find another sort of like job in the meantime to sort of pay off whatever I needed to pay off at the time and do my own bits, etc., etc. So if you are in a sort of like a shitty job, for example, even though the pay's good and whatever,
but there's that undesirable environment, undesirable tasks.
It's even, for example, the job that I'm doing now. It's not the most pay in the world, but the people that I work with are lovely. It's always challenging. It's always nice. And it's not like a arsehole environment, There's no like egos. There's no
egos,
no levels or whatever.
There's no leveling system.
No, everyone's on the same thing. So that's what I like about it, and hopefully I can carry on with that.
Yeah, man. So another type of adversity would be adversity in your sort of social circle.
Yeah.
Or in your social life. And one example of that would be sort of confidence based. So like in order to go out and make friends and build relationships, you need confidence. And like we spoke about in the confidence episodes, the best way to go about that is to just go for it head on and put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. So you name any other sort of examples of adversity?
What, in friendships?
Could be in friendships, could be in anything in the workplace. We already covered workplace.
So in friendships, I've had a few sort of friendships where there's a sort of like negative in a way.
Yeah.
There's negative friendships. There's not positive for me. So I remember being in college and I was friends with a group of guys, and they're just sort of very immature at the time.
And they're bringing, so adversity is all about trouble and challenges being brought your way. So they were bringing, I'm guessing, trouble your way.
Yeah, there's been trouble my way. It's just sort of giving me I was getting bad grades, etc., etc.
Because he was letting that affect you.
Yeah, it was letting me affect me. So the best way I dealt with it, to be honest, is just exclude myself. I was by myself for a little bit, and then I met another guy who I was really good friends with. And we honestly, me and this guy, were just getting A star, boom, 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 boom. Every single thing that we was doing is getting pretty much top grades. And it was awesome, to be honest. And you only really need only a few people in your life. You don't need hundreds of people around you. And the more people you have around you as well, the more issues you probably are.
The more issues you probably get.
Yeah,
I agree with that, because I've got one of my mates. Like, he's been on the show before. You've met him. You know what I'm talking about. He literally has a very small circle of friends, and he barely ever comes out. And he just chills at home, stacks his money, and then and because I'm more social than him, whenever I talk to him about my day, it's almost like he's watching a TV show, but he doesn't have to deal with that headache because he's just so low key, So in terms of like your social circle, like take yourself out of negative scenarios,
Yeah.
Like, you don't need that in your life,
Yeah, not everything on social media or your friends need to know every single detail.
Yeah, people don't need to know everything, as well.
Yeah. So what about in terms of sort of like relationships? How did you
adversity in relationships?
Yeah.
That's a sticky one. That's a sticky one. So in my previous relationship, which was long term, 2 years, I had the top 3 adversities that I faced in that was distance, trust, and different backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds. So the distance thing, I think I pretty much made it work out because we were together for 2 years, Distance, it might be like a Skype relationship, FaceTime relationship, but when you're there and you spend days together, weeks together, you're there, innit? You're together. So the distance thing, there's it's all about, you all have your own time, you all have your own life, your own things to do, and then when you get the few hours of free time, like it's all about making time for each other.
Mm.
It's like I know it's not relationships, but it is like family relationships. It's like my cousin in America, in New York. Yeah, we could say, yeah, he lives in a different continent, but we still took the time out and made the effort to go and see him.
Mm.
You understand? So when it comes to adversity in relationships, distance is all about making the effort, putting the time together, and yeah, it's just having the energy and doing it. Just doing it. If you really want something, you're gonna go and do it. If you really want to go somewhere, you go there. It's like we're in Southwest England right now.
Mm.
You had the choice. We didn't have to come, but we really wanted to come. So we put in the effort and we came here,
Mm.
And the same goes with relationships. So that's the distance. And then the trust.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a really sticky one. Because like when a person sort of lives far, or let's say they're popular, your girlfriend is a popular person on social media, like you're dating an attractive girl, you're gonna get other people looking. You're gonna get other people messaging her.
Mm.
You're going to get other people sliding in the DMs,
Mm-hmm.
It just comes part and parcel with dating a hot girl.
Mm.
So that's when trust comes into play. But what's sticky about trust is she going to live up to the trust?
Mm.
So in that scenario with trust, my advice would probably be the minute you see something dodgy, address it. And if she carries on with the dodgy behaviour, mate, just leave in it because it's not worth the hassle. It's really not.
Mm.
So what did I say? Distance, trust, and what was the third one?
The third one was you know what? I completely forgot. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we're kind of sort of a little bit drunk as well. So
No, there was a third one.
yeah, there was a third one. But what I can do is talk about my ones.
Yeah, talk about relationship now. Remember it.
Okay, so for me, in terms of relationships, we can talk about adversity. We can talk
about adversity in relationships.
And we can talk about multiple different things.
Yeah.
When I was in a relationship, let's say my last relationship, for example, I kind of had similar issues with Vincenzo, sort of long distance, sort of maybe a few trust issues, etc., etc. But what we did was we dealt with the situation sort of face on.
Head on, exactly.
Head on.
Yeah.
And it did cause some problems, I'm not going to lie. We did have issues we did have clashes where we would not speak for like a week or so. But the thing is, we sorted it out and then we got over it, And that's what I think a relationship, a good relationship will be, is where you're able to talk about any type of issue, deal with it, and move on. You need to learn to love and forgive, like you might love someone, for example, and then they might do something that you don't like and you feel like you're heartbroken, sort of disappointed in them, etc., etc. But you need to speak to them and be like, okay, I'm not happy with this, and then you speak to them and see what the solution could be. Once the solution is sorted out, then both parties are happy. The relationship gets stronger and stronger,
Yeah, exactly. But do you agree though, in terms of relationships, when you're facing adversity, if it gets really toxic, just bloody end it. Why are you putting up with BS when you should be focused on yourself, and building,
Yeah, like I've had that as well. Like I've had that with relationships with girls as well. Like where it's been kind of very a lot of toxicity. And then I leave, and then this girl comes back into my life or whatever. They message me or speak to me or whatever.
But not more times out of 10 does she come back as a changed person, or is it the same person?
The same person.
The same person.
Yeah.
Trust me. And I thought of my third point, so I was talking about distance, trust, and cultural differences.
Yes.
So you obviously know where my culture, my family's from Sicily,
Mhm.
it's in Italy, part of the Italian nation, blah blah blah. We're very family orientated.
Mm.
We like to do a lot of things together. Whenever we do stuff, we'll go through stuff. We like to tell each other about it, so we can help support each other,
Mhm.
you know. But the girl I was dating at the time, she wasn't from the same culture. She was
Mm.
from a different culture, which I'm not gonna say. And they're sort of, more sort of cold. They just more independent, like you do your kids do their own thing, the parents do their own thing, and
Mm.
just like leave you to it sort of thing. When my sort of family is like, no, if you're gonna do something, are you sure you don't want me to help you with it? Like if you want help, give me a call. But with her culture, it was sort of like, yeah, do your own thing, you'll be alright, you
Mm.
know. So when she sort of comes to dinner with my family, and then we just have a different mindset.
Mm.
It just didn't work out. It was different expectations,
Mm.
and
Mm.
all that. So yeah, adversity in relationships. Do you want to say anything else about that?
Uh, you know what? In terms of it all rolls into one basically. So you see it with jobs, you see it with friendships, you see it with relationships as well.
So
You
just
see when I mean you see it all in one.
it's
For
all the
example,
same thing
for
but
example,
different.
yeah, for example, with the job that I had, for
Mm.
example, yeah, I tried to focus on the good points. So you could put it into a friendship or relationship, focus on the good points, and then if there was sort of issues, for example, in like my job, for example, I didn't speak about it.
Yeah.
I just kept it to myself. I didn't speak about it to like someone else, the guy I was working with. I didn't say it to
You
anyone. So
didn't address it.
it just built up and up and up, and then
Yeah.
up until it just built up into sort of like, okay, I'm fucking quitting.
Mm.
Um,
So
Maybe that's what you can do in terms of sort of jobs. Just be confrontational. Say, okay, I'm not happy with this, and then maybe the situation could be better.
yeah,
And it's the same for friendships and relationships. If you talk about a
I
situation,
address it head on
yeah,
and see if it can be solved.
yeah, if there's an issue, just head it straight on. You might have differences, you might have issues, etc., etc. But the thing is, it's best to get it head on, straight on, and everyone knows what they want, what the picture is,
Mm.
and then you can move on from it.
Yeah. So to summarize the adversity part of it, I'd say is that if you have an issue, learn to adapt to it, address it straight on. But if there's no solution, just cut it off and move on.
Yeah, okay, but yeah,
Yeah.
and with jobs and stuff like that, might be a little bit more tricky because I know everyone needs money to pay rent,
Yeah. Yeah.
mortgages, kids, family, whatever. Yeah. Um,
But you
in
just
term,
gotta grin and bear it then
yeah,
until you find something better.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also with relationships as well. Like you don't have to stick in a relationship for the rest of your life or for a while anyway because it's a bad situation. Like if a relationship is really bad, then just cut it off. Because it's not
Mm.
giving you any financial freedom. It's just giving you emotional
Headache.
freedom.
Head-
Well, so yeah, a nice relationship gives you
Emotion.
emotional freedom to sort of express yourself, sort of be with a partner, etc.
Mm.
But sometimes it causes headaches as well.
Yeah.
So you don't want that. No one wants a headache.
Of course, man. Of course. Yep. So the second part of mental toughness is going to be emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is as simple as having thick skin
Mm.
or sort of developing like a thick skin over time. So, what do you think of like emotional intelligence?
Yeah, basically it says what it is on the tin. You have to have thick skin, and what we mean by thick skin is being sort of mentally tough. Now you
Mm.
can be physically tough, yeah, but you need to be mentally tough too. Because we watched a film yesterday where they said it's dog eats dog, right?
Dog eat dog world, yeah.
Yeah, which to be honest it is. it is a dog eat dog scenario or situation that's going on. So the best scenario or the best way to sort of come across it is to be sort of tough, mentally tough. You're gonna have people that are gonna belittle you. You're gonna have people that are gonna be aggressive to you. You're gonna have people that are gonna undermine you. You're gonna have people that are sort of just assholes to you in general, you know. But the thing is, there's also going to be the positive side as well, where there's also going to be positive people. There's going to be people that give you love and gratitude. There's going to be people that are going to be happy that you're around, you know.
Yeah.
So it's all swings and roundabouts, isn't it? It's all swings and roundabouts.
It's all part and parcel, but emotional intelligence for me, it's as simple as taking a joke. So let's say if you say something offensive to me, I don't know, it could be about my nationality, about my ethnicity, it could be about anything. You know, it could be about weight, it could be anything, appearance, whatever. Like, you're saying the offensive thing, you're saying the jab, but it's down to me whether I want to take offense to it or not. You know? So I feel like emotional toughness is about having that mental power to say, yep, I'm not gonna take, that's not gonna offend me, I'm not gonna give you the energy, sort of thing. Like, don't give people the satisfaction to get a reaction out of you. That's basically what mental toughness is for me. And it's for example, like, if somebody says something stupid about, let's say, a family member. Somebody doesn't know your family member, but says, yeah, your family member is a dickhead. Like, and it offends you. Did that person offend your family member? No, it's like, it's you that chose to take offense to it, and it's your choice how you're going to react to it. So for me personally, like, growing up, I was very emotional, man. I used to take everything seriously, whether it be detention to people joking about. You know, I used to take all that sort of stuff seriously, to where I had very weak emotional intelligence, very weak skin. And now over the years, as you go through it, you know, you develop thick skin, you know. It even goes as simple as relationships, you know. You know, like, you go through a heartbreak. The wound will eventually heal up. And then next time, you know, God forbid someone leaves you, whatever, it might not hurt that much because you've already been through it.
Yeah, again, exactly. So, the best way to deal with it, honestly, is just life, I'd say. That's dealing with shit. Like, you go through life sort of with, how can I say it? If you're young, you're gonna not really know that much, right?
Yeah.
But I've known some young people that have been through much, you know. I know people that are older than me that have been barely through anything, and they're quite immature.
Yeah.
So, in terms of sort of going through shit, basically just deal with it head on, try and sort of grow as a person, and if you're going to be offended by someone,
then that means you've got a lot of work to do.
You got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be, to be honest, like, when I even going out to with our evenings, for example, I've had like one or two people that just say stuff to me, right? Some guy in the bathroom, for example, said he said something about my shirt. I didn't really understand it, right? I didn't really hear anything. I said, "Oh, you like my shirt, though, yeah?"
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, that's all right then." But I thought you said something good, sort of shit about my shirt. I like to wear Hawaiian shirts, guys. Like,
like my shirt, though.
Yeah, my shirt, though. So I like wearing shirts like flowery, etc., etc. And some guy, I think, said something, and I didn't really take it to offense because, like, I'm comfortable in my own skin and I don't like fucking wearing that shit. So,
and the funny thing is, like, I've met people in the past that if you offend their shirt, they'll take it as deliberate disrespect and, like, punch that person in the face. And then it'll go from a bloody verbal offence to physical to then either you get arrested or you get hurt, you know?
Yeah.
So emotional intelligence is having the sort of the power to not allow yourself to get into a worse situation, you know?
Like,
Yeah.
there's a scenario where me and Vinny was going back, just walking past like a homeless person, for example, right? And this homeless person, we just sort of ignored because like they said something to us, but we wasn't
They
really
were just
paying.
trying to get our attention.
Yeah,
Do
we did.
them a favor or something.
Yeah, we was just like, fuck that, you know. And then they said like, oh, you fucking guys don't fucking listen. And like,
We had the choice to take offense and confront them.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you say? What did you say?
We could have said that here, what the fuck you saying?
And
Beat the shit out of
imagine
them.
the guy pulled out a knife, or someone. Imagine getting hurt or getting killed over
stupid
reason, that an offense from someone that you don't know and you're probably not going to see him again, and then you chose to escalate that situation because you've got a very weak emotional intelligence and very weak mental toughness, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it sort of comes down to like being the bigger person. That person wants to act like a baby. I'm not going to go down to his level. So don't give people the satisfaction, because the more attention you pay to people's issues or people's disrespect, the more power you're giving them. So I live by a code. It's called a span of control. A span of control basically means, so let's say, for example, what's a good example? So let's say, for example, Brexit, yeah? I didn't want the UK to leave the EU for several reasons I'm not going to go into. But the majority of the country left the EU. What have I got power over that? No. Do I dictate politics? No. Does it affect my life? Maybe. But my span of control, I know that I'm in control of my life and the way I react to things, you know? If somebody says something stupid online in the comments, I don't have any control over that. But I have control to look in the mirror and maybe say, yeah, I might be getting overweight and lose weight. I've got control over that. I've got control over who I speak to. Like, long story short, you've got control over yourself, but you can't control other people. You can only control how you can react to events and react to situations. So I like to live by span of control, you know.
Yeah, but like, again, that's probably a perfect example, you know. Like, you don't have to worry about other people and what they think.
Or outside events. It's like the COVID, man. COVID, pandemic, perfect example. Yeah, we're in a pandemic. Do I control the pandemic? Do I control that we will have to abide to the rules? No. I've got no say in it. But do I control whether I follow the rules or how I maneuver in this scenario? Yeah, I control how I maneuver. It's the same thing. So it all comes down to, I guess, self-awareness, you know.
So yeah, I was going to say, do you want to conclude?
No, there's a third part.
Okay, there's a third part, guys.
So yeah, so that's emotional intelligence. So to sort of summarize emotional intelligence, I just want to say like don't get emotional over stupidness.
Don't get emotional over stupid little things.
Don't let little things bother you.
Yeah, don't get emotional over like relationships that are toxic.
Yeah, just have that span of control to know you can only focus on yourself, where you want to be in life. And also, I've noticed as well that when you are busy and you focus on yourself, or you're working hard, or you've got your goals and you're going for your goals, striving for them day by day. When you're that busy, you don't have time to ponder on little things that bother you, or little stupidness. You don't have time for that because you're so busy facing the adversity in your own life. Important stuff, not pettiness. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about emotional intelligence. So the third point of mental toughness is facing rejection. So you want to start on that one? Give me an example about facing rejection.
Well, to be honest, there's only really a few scenarios I've really been in when it's like rejection. It's like friendships, jobs, and relationships.
Yeah.
It's
human nature. There's people in it. Friendships, jobs, relationships. You go in your life, you're going to meet those people.
That's it, really.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I've had rejection plenty of times before, and I don't have to deal with it.
Mm.
So, for example, in jobs where like I thought, okay, like the interview went really bad, or like I saw the reasons why it wasn't gonna go, you know. Um, once you understand sort of like how can I say this? Give me, I need
Yeah.
really to help me out with
All
this.
right, fine.
But like, it's like when you're sort of performing bad, you sort of like start to recognize it. You sort of like,
Yeah, you have awareness.
yeah, that's it,
Yeah.
perfect. You have awareness of sort of like how you should be instead
Mm.
of how you was. Like I had bad interviews before. Like I've had really bad interviews. I've had um, chatting up girls, for example. I've had bad times chatting up girls. I've had friendships, like getting to know people.
And they're just
Again,
assholes and rejecting you.
no, not even rejecting me.
Oh.
Like they'd be friendly and nice and stuff like that, and then they literally just disappear.
Mm.
They disappear. They don't care. They just whatever. But
Yeah.
the thing is, right, when it comes to sort of stuff like that, especially the friendship part, I just sort of it does affect me for a bit.
Mm.
But I'll be like, okay, well, I know who's real around me. I know I've got a select few of friends around me that I can sort of depend upon.
Yeah.
And all I need to do is just literally just focus on them and then focus on
Yeah.
myself.
Filter out the
And
bad
then and then
examples. Yeah.
I might need new friends in the future. I
Exactly.
might need new people that are similar wavelength to me, etc., etc. So I don't really take it as offense. And even with my jobs and stuff like that, when I was back in the day, like getting rejected for a job, um, I used to take it as like, oh my gosh, I'm so offended or whatever, yeah.
Mm.
But I look at it and be like, okay, how could I improve upon that
Yeah.
the next time? How can I do this better? How can I do that better? And like, it might seem a little bit like weird, but I like putting myself under pressure.
Yeah. You
It's
know
it,
why? Because you do something, you get rejected, face failure. You adjust your course and
yeah.
go forward.
Yeah, you always try and improve your game, as I
Yeah.
like to say. So I always like to improve my game, try and improve my tactics, just improve myself as a human.
Mm. Exactly, because no human is perfect.
Exactly.
And yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the three types of rejections you're going to face. Rejection at jobs, female rejection, opposite sex, whatever, and then friendship. So it's like I said about the job thing. Plenty of rejections at interviews. Oh, you're not experienced this, you're not experienced that. But my philosophy is keep throwing the shots until you get one in.
Mm.
You only need to get one shot in to be
Mm.
successful to sort of get in there.
Mm.
And yeah, for jobs, yeah, people are going to reject you. You're going to find, keep trying, don't give up. You're going to find a company or firm that's going to value you, see you as valuable.
Mm.
And yeah, like you said, have the self awareness to adjust your course, see where you went wrong, and keep trying. In terms of relationships, we were out in Bristol the other night.
Yeah.
So not relationships, but in terms of like opposite sex,
Yeah.
attraction, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we were out in Bristol the other night. We went out. We went on a mad one, drinking, partying, having a nice time. You went up to a few girls. Some of them, rejected you. Some of them gave you fake numbers. But then there were girls that gave us their real numbers.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like for every rejection, you're gonna find someone that's gonna sort of cater to you, that's gonna accept you.
Mm.
And
Yeah, you're not gonna be perfect. Like I don't really care about all that stuff.
yeah,
Um, and the people that to be honest, I just want like to get to know people,
yeah.
and that's all I really care about, even if it's just as a friend.
Yeah, even as a friend, and let's say if there's a person that you're trying to get to know that starts acting all bitchy, and that just it says a lot about their personality.
Yeah,
Then you've questioned, why would I want to know someone like that for?
yeah.
It's horrible.
Just bum them off, innit?
Yeah, and then after that is the friendship part, which is like you said that one can get a bit sticky
Yeah.
because like the friendship, a true friendship, there's no give and take. It's not like at work that you're expected to do this and you're expected to do that. A friendship should be all from the heart. You know, that you care about your friend cares about you, you show love to each other. But when friendships start to get toxic, or when a person sort of ghosts on you, or does a disappearing act, or whatever, man, even if that person sort of does a U-turn on you, like, yeah, you might try and address it at the beginning, but the way I see it, you put the effort, you see no return, then just do your own thing, man. If you're really at value to that person or that friend group, then they're gonna miss you. They're gonna come back to you. If if they don't value you, self-preservation. Why do you want to be with people that don't value you? It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. You know. So yeah, to sort of summarize, conclude mental toughness. Yeah, people. It's all about life experience, isn't it? You know, you go through life, you face challenges, you face rejections, you get your heart broken, then you rise up, you get back up, you try again, and then your skin gets thicker, and you become stronger. It all makes you stronger at the end of the day, you know.
To be honest, you guys should just look at the definition of adversity. That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, but also one thing I do want to say, it only makes you stronger if you accept and move on. Because it's like a relationship. You get your heart broken. If you keep pondering on it, it's not going to make you stronger because you're not willing to accept and let go. So accept and let go and move on, and then yeah, you'll be alright, you know. So anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, honestly, to be honest, I just agree with everything. Just guys, like and subscribe. We're gonna come out with more content if you like it. But it's gonna be real, you know. This is our experience. This is what we've gone through. Like, this is how we feel. Like, this is basically us speaking. You know, we're not filtering out anything. We're not gonna be doing any clickbait shit. Like, honestly, we're just talking.
This is real life, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're just putting it as content.
Yeah, we're just doing real life, you know. So anyway, guys, we're gonna be concluding.
Peace out. Subscribe to London Boy Podcast, like, share, and yeah, see you soon.
All right, bye, guys.